Alright guys, for today's video we're taking a look at two characters again. And again, it's from Gears of War 2 Series 4. This is going to be the Grenadier Flamethrower. You see the name, little picture here. Some quick reading. And then some other little pictures here. And then the other character we're taking a look at today, the Grenadier Elite, which is different, but the same. Picture here, text here, and then some pictures. And here we go with the toys themselves. And here it is with the Grenadier Flamethrower and a Grenadier Elite. Both characters are basically the same, but they do have, enough differences to make them separate characters. So let's go ahead and take a look at the details and paint job and all that nice stuff. Alright, just to mention, this is the first time that ever happened, so that's a good way to start off a video. We go with the face, which, like all their other Locust figures, are very nicely detailed with the eyes, nasty looking teeth, which actually do have a really good looking shine to them, which makes them look a little wet. Got the armored bits and pieces, the harness, gauntlets, and like all the new characters, it has a hole in the back for the peg. And the thing I like about these guys more than the other Locust Locust figures is these ones actually have attached grenades to them. There's a grenade right here, and a grenade right there. They are attached to the belt, so you can't really take them off. So they're stuck in there unless you break them off. But there's no reason why to break them off. This is soft plastic here, so it's easy to move around. And if you really want to, you can actually take it off. But from what I have seen, there's no pops that pop open, places that pop open to take it off. So pretty much you're gonna have to cut it off or break it off, whatever. Here we go with this guy, the Flamethrower. Really good looking details in the helmet. Has pretty good looking, has a nice looking metal and rusty kind of look to it. Paint job looks great. The harness is basically the same thing as the other guys, except he has this attached to it, which is the fuel pack and all that. Which you can tell, very good details on it, and paint job. Only thing that he doesn't have on his bottom part is the grenades. He has all the same pouches and all that, pretty much the exact same lower half, except for the grenades aren't attached. And one thing I like about these guys and the other Locusts as well is that their hands, the way they're painted. You can probably tell easier on this one here. Has like a regular flesh, Locust flesh tone here. And towards the fingers it gets more darker and black. Not sure if you can tell too good, or if the camera's well, not the camera, but the light, it might be washing it out so you can't see it, but I think you can see it here. It's a nice little detailed paint job they did with it. It looks very good. Articulation on these guys are basically the same thing. Head goes back and forth. Arm tails rotates 360 and side to side. And you get pretty good range of motion with them because this is soft plastic here. Elbows back and forth, and rotate around. Hands have 360 movements. He has the waist articulation, which, if you wanted to, 360. Leg movement is it's the V type of crotch movement. So that's pretty much it for articulation. The head, shoulders, elbows, wrist, waist, the crotch area here, and then the knees. And it's the same for both characters here. Accessories they come with: the Elite comes with the shotgun, which is the same as all the other shotguns. And you just snap it right into his hand. And that's basically it for him. I always seem to have a little bit of a hard time getting him to hold it correctly, but I don't know, it always looks a little weird and off to me. And of course the Flamethrower guy comes with a Flamethrower, which is the first time they made it for this series, well, for toys. Very good details, very good paint job, looks all, you know, used. The only problem I have with it is kind of, you know, it's kind of wobbly, loose, soft. So if you're not careful with this thing here, you can actually break a few pieces with it. So just take your time and don't manhandle it too much. You just pop that in there, and there you got that pretty much. It would have been better if these hands, the left hands, were designed to actually hold a weapon, because as of right now with open palms, they kind of slip out pretty easy. You can expect to pay $13.99 to like $16.99 depending on where you pick them up. And you can pick them up at Toys R Us, Suncoast, FYE, and Hot Topic. And I'm sure there's other places too, but you know, that's just a quick little list. So for some quick good and bad, you're good, a lot of great details, good articulation, great paint jobs, good sculpts, nicely sculpted weapons here, well for him at least. Nice addition to the backpack. You know, this guy is pretty much like a whole new character. This guy seems like a remake of him, just with less added to him. And one minor thing that I like that, and one minor good thing that I like that you've already seen and I already said about, is the grenades hanging off them. Which isn't a big deal, but it's a nice little addition to it. And for the quick rundown of the bad, for the most part it's pretty much a great toy, but it would have been good if the left hand was closed a bit more to hold the weapons a lot easier. Also would have been nice to have a little bit more articulation with the legs, but for these type of toys, it's pretty good as is. So what do? Leave them on the shelf or pick them up? For me, I would suggest actually picking them up because they are really nice looking, they're really good detailed, and well, you've already heard all the good stuff and the bad stuff. And you can see for yourself they're a lot different than the other Locust characters. The other ones are kind of boring and plain, less articulation. These guys have a lot of good articulation and a lot more detailed as well. If you happen to find these guys sitting on the shelves or the pegs, go ahead and pick them up, especially if you find the Flamethrower guy, because just because of the helmet alone, he looks a lot better than the standard one. But that's not saying the standard one is ugly or anything, because how can you think that little face right there is ugly? But yeah, if you do find these guys, be sure to pick them up, because I'm pretty sure you'll be really happy with them. Especially more so over any of the other Locust figures. Alright, that's it for the Grenadier Flamethrower and the Flamethrower Elite, or the Grenadier Elite.